Hello everybody, GL1 here. Welcome to the premier online toy museum, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Super 7 Conan the Barbarian toy. And Super 7, in my mind, is known for good detail and articulation, or good detail and not good articulation. So this set here, this is you can collect them all. You can war paint Conan, and bloody war paint Conan, and and then we have great artwork of Arnold from the movies Conan from 1982. And here is the toy that they came up with. And as you can see, it looks a lot like Arnold Schwarzenegger. And he's got his necklace on. Now, this was brown in the movie, probably made out of, well, the strap was leather, and this was probably wood or some kind of, metal that had been darkened. And the sword is all bright and shiny. And we're going to compare that to the highly detailed Super 7 Conan, and which is sitting in the throne here, and see the difference there. But first, I'd like to show you what this toy is similar to. So we have the Zorn action figure once again making its appearance. And if we compare the Zorn action figure, the sword, similar design in a way, but not really the two-handled. This is meant to be, you can grasp onto the sword here as well, but just a gigantic sword. All right, and musculature, you can see they're both muscular figures, but they are different bodies. The way that they handle the hips is different, so you can see that Zorn's hips move out, and he's got good hip flexor muscle up in there, and the Conan has, also good lateral articulation, but more, rounded plastic in there. No lateral articulation on the shoulders. This is kind of like the old He-Man toys of the early 80s. You can move the waist around. The sword often does fall out of his hand. He could move his head a little bit, but the hair gets in the way. And again, Zorn, very similar. Same level of articulation. Muscularity-wise, Zorn's bigger. Arnold has a little different set of muscles. You can see Arnold's triceps sticks out past his rear deltoid on the shoulder. You see how much further. And Zorn, it's just slightly further, but Zorn has bigger shoulders. So, obviously they made some different choices on these molds. You can see they both have big lats, but then Zorn has very visible spina erectors and larger rhomboids. I think Arnold's lats flare out in proportion to his arms a little bit further. And if we compare also this to a modern He-Man, I think then we can see, again, the molds are different. You can see the serratus muscles over here under the pecs, more detailed on He-Man, but the Arnold has larger pecs. They both have, prominent abs. Leg-wise, I'd say actually they're very similar. The Arnold might have a little bit more detail on the inner thigh. And this He-Man has, elbow joints and knee joints and lateral shoulder articulation. So that's, superior. And then if we look at the arms, we can see that they're a similar design, but the Arnold has a little bit more detail in the tricep. And the bicep looks like it might be slightly larger on the Arnold. And shoulder-wise, they're very similar. If we turn around to the back, and, you can see that there's similar back muscles on that. And there's really nothing much to say other than they're very similar. All right. Now, if we compare this Super 7 to this Super 7, all right, so this is like the $50 version, I think $55 or something, version of Arnold. And you can see, Arnold's Conan, I should say. But you can see, like, this is more the real color of what his amulet, from the Wheel of Pain is supposed to look like. And the sword, also, more realistic metal color. and you have the rune writing on it, and they both have that actually. So you see they put a little bit of, can you see that? Kind of put the runes on there, and but very similar handles. Now this sword, the hilts are, again, on the hilts are also similar, but I mean, obviously, you're paying for more detail, so you get a lot more detail on this. And this is based on a 7-inch design, and the Super 7, this other Super 7 is a 5.5-inch design, which is about right because they're about 1.5 inches different in height. And then this is my custom Conan the King. I took like their ultimate He-Man from the 80s, and they beefed him up to like an 8-inch figure and made it massive. And I got these for $11 each, so I bought 3 of them. And I took the body and I made, King Conan, He-Man. So if you compare that and you throw them, I mean, then there's at least a good 2 inches. So it's probably like a 7.5, 8-inch scale for Conan. I mean, he's, a good 3/4 of an inch, I'd say, taller than, about 3/4 of an inch taller than the Super 7 one. But the head is Super 7, and so is the sword. So anyway, there you go. Just, it's overpriced. I was able to get this for half price, so about $17. But, $30 or so, definitely not worth it, as you can see, unless you're just like a collector and have to have everything. But if you compare the face also, it's a good mold, I mean, for a simplistic toy. And if you're going to play, if you want to bring Conan into the world of He-Man, this is the best way to do it. It looks like Arnold, but this looks a lot more like Arnold. Now, Arnold doesn't have blue eyes, but Conan was always described in the books as having blue eyes, and they gave him blue eyes here. And here they gave him brown eyes, which is accurate to Arnold. But what's nice is that, if you're bringing Conan into the world of He-Man and you want to play with like classic He-Man figures, there you go. You can do that now. So, all right. Well, hope you enjoyed that, and I'll be talking to you soon. Take care.